Hello and welcome to Powerful Stuff. Powerful Stuff is your one-stop shop for inner and outer connection to cultivate that deeper inner self-trust and confidence to live your most embodied life and your most connected life with others. With a little bit of lightness, a little bit of cheekiness, we believe self-development doesn't have to always be so serious. And I am your host, Meredith Baker, leadership coach and creator of Powerful Stuff. It's my mission to help you both as individuals that I coach and listeners that tune into Powerful Stuff to help you live your most empowered life from the inside out. And today we have someone who is a true embodiment of that, Chelle Njiva, who is founder of Femme Prosper Wellness, an amazing clothing brand, also an amazing movement of women, which we will get into and I'll let her tell everyone about. But it's such an honor to have her on because I feel like we've been in each other's orbit for years, binded by our mutual bestie, Angel DeSantis, who is just on Powerful Stuff. And it's always so inspiring when I meet like other women who are just crushing it, who are elevating, but who are also just so like excited to bring other women along for the ride and believing like there's room at the top for all of us. And I just feel like you are a living, breathing example of that. So I'm so grateful to have you on.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for also, even before being on Powerful Stuff, just taking the tagline and making it a household thing in Venice.
It's all over my socials.
Yeah,
that's Powerful Stuff.
Ooh, that's Powerful Stuff. You get it.
I do, honestly. I love it. I just feel like that's just basically what we're doing every day. It's powerful stuff.
It is powerful stuff. Well, says someone who wakes up at 3 a.m. every day.
Yep. I started doing that out of, actually, not to get deep so fast.
Let's do it. Go deep
but
quick.
I started getting up at 3. I left what I would say an unhealthy relationship that I was in for like 2 years. And I think it was a way of wanting to gain control of my life, truly. And so I was like, I want to find out what happens if I just dedicate all of me to being absolutely nuts in the way that I show up in the world, to live audaciously with audacity. And for some reason, 3 a.m. just felt like an hour that I was always active. Yeah. But then at nighttime, by like 9 o'clock, I'm useless. So I was like, I'm going to wake up at 3 a.m. and I'm going to have a routine and I'm going to find out what happens. And that was like 475 days ago. Whoa. And I've just been doing it ever since.
There's so many questions there, but what has been the biggest shift that you've seen in your life since you've started to wake up at 3 a.m.?
Oh my gosh. The biggest one that I've seen that I didn't have before that, honestly, utmost self-respect for myself. Like I respect myself for the way that if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. Before I started waking up at 3 a.m., I was like, trying to figure it out. We're like young. I was 25 and in love and running around town and not really having the most self-esteem that I feel like I needed to have in order for me to feel secure in my own beingness. And since doing my 3 a.m. wake-ups and just like knowing that this is what I do, this is who I am, it's almost like an armor that I wear. And I have this deep sense of self-respect in how I show up in the world. And so that was new for me. And it's nice because then I operate from that place now, which is kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
And I feel like I love what you said about the self-trust. It's like when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And that's something that I love and what I tell all my clients of like, that's going to the self-trust gym. Like when our intuition speaks or we know something's going to be good for ourselves, we do it.
We do it.
And that's the biggest thing. And then the other things that we do after that feel so much more intuitive.
Yes.
Because
it's so nice.
We have that self-trust. I can't believe it's been 475 days.
It has
been.
But
who's counting?
No, who's counting? When I started doing it, people were like, wait, do you wake up at 3 a.m. for real? And I was like, yeah, I do. They were like, why? And I was like, I don't know. Why not? Actually, why not? I think that's also been the basis of everything that I do. Why not? Yeah. I have no idea if I'm going to die after 475 days of trying this out or if something incredible is going to come out of it. But why not just give it a try? Yeah. And so I just was like, let me give it a try. And so much came out of it.
Wow.
Which is so nice.
And I also feel like those hours before everybody else is awake, it's like so much better not to be distracted in what you're doing because no one else is up to distract you.
I'm like, so you're just to the witches.
Dialed. What does your like 3 a.m. morning routine look like?
That's like the question that I get asked the most.
Yeah,
that's
please.
So funny.
Tell our Powerful Stuff listeners.
Okay, I have, sometimes it has changed. It has progressed and changed since I started doing it. But the most consistent that I do is that before I get out of bed, this is like a ritual of mine. I've been doing it since forever. I pray and I just thank God, the universe, for allowing me to have this day. And I say 3 gratitudes right when I wake up. It's like a rule. It's so funny because I don't put my feet down on the ground. unless I do that.
Wow.
I say, like, it's just like a law that I have with myself. It's like, oh, did we forget to say thank you today for getting up this morning? So I do that right when I get up. And then I go to my mat. Sometimes I don't make it to my mat if I'm like, it's just a day.
Yeah.
And I meditate. I use the open app. It's really good for meditation. So I use that. And now because I lead some, I also lead my own meditation for myself. So that's kind of cool.
Oh my God.
And then I drink my water, brush my teeth, and then I get on my desk and I write. And then I get to work. By 5:30, I'm in the gym. And then after that, the day starts.
Wow.
It's a routine. It's really a routine.
Gosh. I love that though, but you're so dialed. And I love that you start the day with gratitude.
Yes.
Instead of like thinking about what you have to do that day or like the fear of what's to come. It's like grounding in like all that already is going well. And it's always, I always like to say, like, we get what we focus on.
We get what we focus on.
And so it's like you're already focusing on gratitude, like telling the universe, like, yes, more of this, please.
Yes, exactly.
Placing my order for what I already have and love.
Yes, exactly. I just feel like if starting the day with gratitude for me has literally changed my life. And I think a lot of people can attest to this. I'm already thanking the universe for things that have not already happened yet. Or I'm just thanking them for good health or for literally opening my eyes this morning. And that changes the perspective you have throughout your entire day. And that's why people are like, you're always so positive all the time. I'm like, yeah, because I'm just seeing the world from the lenses of positivity and from gratitude because it's a new day.
Yeah.
It's a new day.
And I love that so much. I feel like sometimes people are like, oh, that's just not me, or I don't have that mindset, or I'm not optimistic. But what I want to like double click on here is it sounds like so intentional, like you actually cultivated these tools for yourself. Like it does take work.
Yeah.
And then it becomes easier once we like adjust to it and like it becomes a muscle. But like, what was that first, however long, like year, 2 years or months, even like when you were shifting into that, like what were your beliefs before?
Oh man.
And how did you shift into that? And how did you maintain it even when you weren't yet seeing like results?
Right.
I know that's like three questions. In
right.
one,
That's like 10.
I trust you can handle
3
it.
questions into one. Oh my gosh, I
We're
can
both
handle
manifestor generators.
Yes,
right?
we are.
So you got this.
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like since I was always young, by the way, I was raised by my grandfather in Zimbabwe on a village. And one of the things that I learned from him at a young age was just being grateful. And I was raised in a Christian family. So like the way that we showed gratitude was through Christian prayer, right? Whatever that was for me at that time. And I was always saying thank you. Even when life sucked, even when it was difficult, even when I was like going through my moments of adversity and coming to the US at a young age and like literally going through I'm literally getting emotional. It's so funny. Going through some of the struggles that I went through just to be here. I always say thank you.
Wow.
I know I'm getting emotional.
Oh.
I'm here.
Your emotions are beautiful and so safe here.
Yeah. So, but I think if it wasn't for having the ability to always say thank you to even the hard times, I don't know how I would be here in this moment. So I think the moment when I was a young kid, it just started when I was young. I just learned to just say thank you all the time because that's how I was raised. And then the mindset that I did develop though, like in my teenage years and going to college, being around different people, I adopted this like survival mentality where I was always like running and I was always like trying to figure it out. And so with that also comes like thoughts of not a victim mentality, but always feeling like, wow, things suck, but always being thankful. It's weird. I can't explain it. And so I feel like since I started being more intentional about the way that I show my gratitude and actually truly embodying that gratitude and actually believing it, I saw a shift. I was like, oh, this is what it feels like when you're actually being truly grateful and not just saying it because it's what you're used to saying, but you're actually
like you're feeling it. Yeah.
Like I'm a true embodiment, living gratitude every single day. Like I'm grateful to be sitting here right now. Like that's a blessing. Me at 13 in Zimbabwe, never could have dreamed.
Wow.
Yeah.
I keep saying I love this. I'm like, I love it because I just love it so much.
You almost made me cry.
I know.
Surely.
Wow. But it's so beautiful, like what you say. Just like it sounds like what a gift, that your grandpa like really instilled in you that like appreciation. Then it sounds like almost like a walking the fire of your own new relationship with gratitude of, like you said, not just inherently because it's what you've always done, but then really feeling like intentional and making the choice. To really embody it. And what was that choice for you? Like, when did it happen? I know you said in high school it kind of felt like you were grateful, but then also like kind of
still figure it out.
Still figuring it out. Like, and I know you mentioned with the the 3 a.m. thing, it came from a past relationship. Was that at the same time that the gratitude stuff kind of had its second renaissance, if you will?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I feel like the second layer of gratitude for me came when I moved to LA. So I moved to LA from Arizona in 2018. And that's when I was trying to figure out what path I was going on in my life. And I was still in the medical field, still figuring all out. But I just remembered I used to make this post on Instagram about gratitude all the time every morning, even when things sucked, where I was like, well, maybe let's be more intentional about the way in which we're expressing gratitude. Maybe we don't only express gratitude for the positive things, but we also express gratitude even for the sucky ebbs and flows of moments of life.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's when it really started to truly feel like it was more authentic when I was doing it. And then come to the end of my relationship with my wonderful ex-boyfriend, I was like, okay, I really want to try to live a life I really want to dig deep into all of these layers of myself that I feel like I need to get beyond myself. And through that journey, I want to reconnect back with who I truly am, the God within all of us. I really was like very intentional about that, going to breath work, I think I was a little obsessed with all of the different healing modalities that
we all
are in
have.
Venice.
When we fall in the first time, the pendulum has to swing.
Oh my God, the power of now, the Siren Experiment, every single book.
Venice starter pack.
Dude, there needs to be a starter pack, actually, where it's like, when you move to Venice, you have to go through this in order to be a part of the community.
Right. Have you gone to a breathwork class?
Yeah.
Have you read Eckhart Tolle?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you read Michael
Singer? That is so funny. Yeah. And I feel like, so after that breakup, for me, I was like, I want to take time to really learn more about who I am. Honestly, I think that's when I'm so grateful for that relationship, because that's when the evolution of myself really came to be. So the second renaissance, yes. That's when I fully became into myself. I learned what I liked. I learned who I'm supposed to be, the things I'm supposed to be doing in this world. And I started being more, I would say, very intentional in the way in which I was showing up in the world and how I was expressing that gratitude. Like, I was no longer masking off like the struggle, the pain, the whatever. It was just all real and raw. And it's like, this is who I am, open, and I'm grateful for it all. You know?
Yeah. And it's each a part of our journey, and uniquely leads us to where we're meant to be now. And when you were going through that, how did you navigate when you felt like, you know, maybe you hit another dip, or sometimes in self-development, it's like 2 steps back, 1 step forward. Like what kept you going in that time, and how did you know, or like, there is no other way but through, you know, because some people just like push it down or numb or escape.
Yeah.
Like what gave you that perseverance to like, no, I'm actually committed to figuring this out, and I'm going to stick through it even through the shitty times?
There was no other way but through.
Yeah.
That's when that happened. I was like, there is no other way. There's no going back. I remembered. So this is how my breakup happened. I woke up and I was staring in the mirror one day, because after having many different whatever relationship things, you know, going on. And I remember one time I woke up in the mirror and I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I don't like what I'm looking at. Like, I literally was like crying, not recognizing myself. And I got out and I like saw my ex and we had the conversation. I was like, so I'm done. And then it was like a commitment in that moment. It was like a deep sigh that I came back to myself. And from then I was like, there is no other option than to go forward with everything in my life. Like, that relationship was just a part of the journey. Like, it wasn't the problem. It wasn't whatever. It was part of the layer that I had to uncover within myself to say, I'm supposed to go here. And these are little lessons, and these are teachers that are coming into my life along the journey. And that was one of those teachers. And then after that, I was like, I am committing to this. Like, you mentioned this before about the gym muscle.
Yeah.
It's hard work. It's literally hard work. And it's so funny because my motto and my line that I say to my women in Femme Prosper is the hard work that you do every single day, the choices we make it's hard work. Like, when you choose to say, I'm going to be grateful today, and like, you can't pay rent or you're struggling, or all these things are happening. It takes hard work to still be grateful. And I was like, there is no other option. I didn't come this far to only come this far. So I'm going to continue to prove to myself and to find out what happens if I keep saying yes to me. And if I keep giving myself permission. And I promise you, like, you can take one step back where it's like you're doubting yourself, you have imposter syndrome, like, I don't know, all of these self-limiting beliefs, which I worked a lot to like unlearn and let go. And I was like, I'm going to let go of the shackles that I put my feet. I'm going to open my voice more. I'm going to allow myself to fully be seen as I am, fully as me. And I'm going to find out and see what happens. And yeah, so literally since then, it's just been a journey of that.
Yeah.
It's just been a trajectory of, let's see what happens when we go north.
Wow.
I want to go north.
I want to go north.
Yeah.
We're to the North Pole, baby.
To the North Pole.
Let's go. And when you were doing that, like, what was the first little like wink from the universe that like this is working or keep going? What kind of like, and how long was that lag time of internally deciding to do that and starting to either feel the shifts or see the external world start to shift as a result of that?
Yeah, let's see. I committed to starting to waking up at 3 a.m. around, I don't know how many days was that, 475 days.
So like a year.
Like a year and some change. And literally since that week, after that week of all of that changes that happened in my life, it just kept going every single day. I did travel, so that does like help. I'm going to go to Paris and I'm going to eat pasta and not think about my 3 a.m. routine for this day. But it was just like a trajectory of let's keep going. So I would say like a year and a half is when that started. And so many things have happened that have allowed me to realize that when you give yourself permission to just dare greatly, which I love Brene Brown's.
Yes,
oh my God,
great. We love Brene.
We love her. She's so good. And you humor yourself, something happens that you're not expecting. The first wink that I had from the universe was honestly when I started speaking up more with the women around me. I'm not even kidding. I would literally leave conversations like, be like, oh my God, you should share this. You should talk about this. Oh my God, you should build something. You should do this. That was like a wink of confirmation that what I'm dedicating myself to doing is where I'm supposed to be. Like I always used to joke when I was young that I want to be the future Oprah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here you are.
Like,
on Powerful Stuff.
Yeah, on Powerful Stuff.
One step away.
Powerful stuff.
Doing powerful stuff.
Literally. And I was like, yeah, so I want to just like do everything. I want to be right within myself so that when I'm sharing that energy outside with people, it's felt. It's not like spoken through my words. It's just felt. And if you can leave me feeling like my cup is full, that was that. And I started getting that wink from the universe by people just confirming it. Like, wow, thank you for that or whatever it is. And then they're like actually reaffirming what I should be doing. They have no idea that they're building me up while they're thinking that I'm building them up. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. A ripple effect.
Yeah, that positive upward spiral of that. And I love what you said. Again, I'm just like obsessed. Retweet. But yeah, of not just saying something, but actually feeling it and being in alignment with it. And I think, it is so easy to say all the, self-development platitudes and the gratitudes, which is like, a great step one. But to like live in alignment with that and to actually like be like my actions match my words for how I show up for myself and how I show up for my community. Yeah. That is like the true magic. And like you said, that creates the personal magnetism. Yeah. Because we're not just like saying things. Yeah.
That is so funny. I learned this from this guy. I forget his name from YouTube. And I don't even know I'm supposed to say this on a podcast, but he says, stop with the mental masturbation.
Yes.
Because a lot of us do it. I used to do it. I used to like have 10-page papers of all the different things that I would like to do. Yeah. The manifestation. How do you get from a place of manifestation to actualization? You can talk all day, do all these things. And I preach every day about this. Literally, it's like my life motto. I'm like the crazy David Goggins of females.
the David Goggins of females.
Literally. I'm like, saying the thing, thinking the thing, writing the thing down is not doing the thing. Doing the thing is doing the thing. So and the only way to get over your fear and all the struggles and over these limiting beliefs is doing the thing. So it's just like, just do the thing.
Nike was onto something.
Yeah, do it.
Just
do it.
Just do it.
They were really onto something.
That's so freaking real. I mean, if David Goggins could hear us now.
Right?
Yeah, I completely agree. It's like, I think these things are tools and they're supportive. And if they help us do the thing, but we can't just sit here and talk about, I always say similarly, manifestation without action is just wishful thinking. Because it's like, we have to take an action to put things in motion. To get out of a self-limiting belief, we have to do something that is out of our normal pattern that can give us a new result, which then can reaffirm a new belief. Yeah. And the only way to do it is through taking action. Literally. And taking messy action and starting, before we feel like we might be ready to start, but just taking the next step and then the next step after that and then the next step after that.
We stop so much from going to the next step because we're afraid that we're not qualified or that we have imposter syndrome or that someone else is already doing it. And it's like, I learned this thing that really helped me personally, truly. Yeah. Like, of course you're an imposter. You've never done it before. The only way to get over the imposter syndrome is to do it. Yeah. So just go do it. And then the more with practice, the more you work that muscle, just like you go to the gym, the more you no longer are not an imposter anymore. You just do the thing. By the way, no one knows what they're doing too.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone, no one comes out of the womb an expert.
No.
We all become experts because
Yeah.
we started off allowing ourselves to be messy and giving ourselves grace and compassion and like not taking
Yeah.
ourselves so seriously in the process
Yeah.
to doing the thing. What was the first thing that you did that felt like, ooh, this is scary or it's a shift? Because I know also whether it's, you know, I know you have a background in like we're going down a medical journey
Yeah.
path, and now
Yeah.
you have Femme Prosper, which I'm so excited to like hear more about. But what was that first thing that felt really scary that you did take an action for or you leaped toward?
In my life in general.
Yeah, you can do it in your life in general and then also in this recent era as well.
Moving to the United States.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a big one. I was 13. My mom, so I was raised with like I said before, I was raised with my grandpa at a village, and I learned all of the tools that I feel like, honestly, every day to this day, I thank him because they make me who I am today. And when I was 13, I was like so scared. My mom was already here building the American dream, which I'm so grateful for because now I'm here on the Powerful Stuff podcast.
Yeah.
Literally living the American dream.
Yes. Oh my God.
Literally.
You guys heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first. She didn't pay me to say this. But yeah, and I remember just being at the airport and someone like asked me where I was going, and me with an accent, barely speaking English, I was like, Phoenix, but I meant to say Phoenix. It was so scary just being like foreign in your country.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, this is what it feels like to like live in a place of endless opportunities. And that was like one of the first big risks, you would say, that I took, and being like, I choose to go there and go find out what's gonna happen. And then all my life, with my grandfather, I like used to take care of him. So that's what led me for my path with medical school, by the way. I wanted to help people. And for some reason, I just always thought that I was going to be a doctor, and I was going to do Doctors Without Borders, and I was going to go to third world countries and provide health education resources and global health and all of these things. So then I went down this 12 years of school to be a physician, and then COVID happened. Then I realized I absolutely have nothing against the American healthcare system, but I don't want to be a part of it. I was just not passionate about it. I just felt like there was so much more out of me that I didn't know yet. And I didn't know how I was going to help people, in what way I was going to do it. And then so my biggest risk and my biggest slip was saying, I remember I like wrote it in my book. I called it the pivot year. And that's when I decided I didn't want to go to medical school anymore. And literally an identity crisis, like the dark night of the soul, they call it. Yeah. And I was like, then who am I, and what am I going to do, and how am I going to figure it out? And that began the 5-year now almost journey of where we're at now with Femme Prosper Wellness, and feeling like Chelle is really Chelle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chelle is shining.
Chelle is shining, and she's giving herself permission to find out why not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's so scary to make that shift, especially like something like medical school. It's a huge commitment.
Oh my gosh.
And a huge mentality shift too, if like we've been thinking about doing something for years and years and years.
Yeah.
What did you have to like reconcile with, or what permission did you have to give yourself to like take the first step to start to look beyond that? Because I think sometimes people don't even know where to begin.
No,
if it's been like something that they always thought they were going to do.
Yeah, it was actually very difficult because one, everyone, since I was young, everyone always knew me as a future doctor. So you already have that pressure
and that identity
that this is who I am. That's all that I am, because that's what you think, but that's not what you are. You're actually not what you do. But that's what I thought. And so I remember I was like literally driving in the car, and I was talking to a friend that time, and I was like, this is not who I'm supposed to be. This is not what I'm supposed to do, and I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. But then the universe granted me like a remote job at the same hospital as a senior account manager for like 400 physicians and all those people, because I was already working with scribes and doctors, and it just allowed me to have space to then figure out who I'm supposed to be. So that helped. I think it's difficult to make the jump and to make the leap if you don't feel secure in like, am I supported financially?
Those base needs are
so important. Oh my gosh, they keep us stuck.
Yeah.
Even like with building my company, working a 9-to-5 still, it's been so difficult. And I'm like, I'm ready to quit my 9-to-5, and it's like, no, I can't, because I need the 9-to-5 to find my dream. But I think some of the just knowing, again, going back to the inner gut, inner trust with yourself, I just knew that it was going to work out. That I had like this, Steven Pressfield was my mentor. Like, he talks a lot about this, like the whistle, the moment that you just know in your head, in your heart, you feel it, that it's not going to go wrong. It's going to go exactly how it's supposed to. And so I had no idea literally had no idea 5 years ago that I was going to be here with Femme Prosper. I just knew I was going to be something, and I was meant to be here to impact people, especially women, from a big scale. I didn't know what. And so I gave myself permission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give yourself permission to answer the call. And
Yeah.
what were the types of things that you were doing to get closer and closer to that answer?
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that question. Like, I talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
I think one of the best things that has ever happened to me is learning mindfulness practices like breath work and meditation, and really allowing the noise to silence the noise.
Yeah.
And just connect with who and what you truly are,
Yeah.
and get back home to yourself. Like everything that I do with my little meditations and like talks that I do, it's always about coming back to yourself. And I used to think a lot when I was younger that we need to add. So I just take on more. But it's like, what layers you need to subtract? What can we peel the onion to get to that part of who you are? And meditation, like I literally at one point recently, I was like, Chelle, the tools you use to get here, it's okay. You don't have to do them as much anymore. Like you can do them with, with moderation.
Yes.
Because sometimes like you're so like stuck to the routine.
Yeah.
And you do it so much and you become rigid. But it's like, okay, I had to do this meditation, the prayers that I did. Writing actually helped a lot too, the morning pages.
Yeah.
And
Just
answering
getting
to that
everything
call.
out.
Yeah. And you get the glimpses of the little light of the universe and just like speaking to you. I can explain it how you feel it, but you really do. And you're like, okay, I want to answer to that call. And I say this every day, that each day a hand is handed over to me at the doorstep, and I take the hand and I grab it and I accept the invitation. Yeah. And so I answer.
I love that imagery.
Yeah. And I just like, so I visualize it. And I'm like, each day I'm literally giving an opportunity. What will I do with this day? And so that's just what I do.
Wow.
That has worked and served me well.
Yes, that's so inspirational. I love that imagery. I need to remind myself of that in the morning as well, because some days I'm like, I open I want to open the door. I do try to only check my phone until after I've done my morning routine as well, which certainly helps. But there are some moments in the middle of the day where it's easy to like open your phone and scroll, and then it's just to remember that hand again, being like, okay, this is precious time that you can either, even if you don't know what you're gonna do, you can like get still, or you can go for a walk or do something that's gonna recharge you. Because I completely agree with you. I think like all questions are answered in the present moment, like at least for like getting still, like you said, trusting the intuitive hit of where to go next, and then the step after that, and then the step after that. And it's like, just quieting the noise. But so often it's so simple, this advice.
It's so
but we
simple
can
and it's so hard. Oh my gosh, I forget it all the time sometimes. It's like,
it's a journey of remembering.
It's a journey of remembering. Like, remember who you are. Like, even this, honestly, just this morning, I had so many back-to-back meetings. I just launched my company. So there's just like a lot, fires being put out. And one of the things that I also learned through this path is not being afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
Or like talking about the struggles that you're having. Yeah. Not knowing that you're not alone. And so I've learned this new thing that I do with my best friend, Jordan. And literally today I was like, got 2 minutes? And she's like, yeah, babe. And I was like, all right, call me, go. I know you're at work, but can you go outside for 2 minutes? And I was like, remind me. And she goes, you're doing great, babe. It was just so beautiful. And I was like, this is so good. She just knew what I needed right there and then. But for the longest time, I built up also this, like when I was younger, this like, I've got it on my own, this survival thing, this hyper independence that I know I don't want to drop down. Like, I'm a soft woman. I don't want to struggle and be like, I got it. Yeah. No, I love that I'm receiving help and I'm not afraid to ask for help. And being vulnerable and being like, today I'm crying 10 times and this is where I'm at and it's okay. Instead of just being this polished version of perfectionism of like, I got it. And so like, that was helpful for today.
I love that. That's so powerful. Like to have other women who can hold a mirror for us and remind us of who we are when we don't feel that way. Yeah. And when we have trouble accessing it ourselves. And like you said, like true soft power isn't being like, I can handle everything on my own. No. I'm every woman. It's telling me. But it's like, okay, like I need a little help today. And it's actually, I know who I am. And it's actually a strength or power of mine to be able to ask for that help when I need it. And to surround myself with other people who aren't afraid to give it. Because I know it's mutual. It is mutual. Yeah. It is so nice. For some reason, I have no idea when I developed this. Maybe one day I'm still part of the journey. I'm still trying to figure it out. When I gained this
this behavior of thinking that you have to struggle in order for you to get somewhere, or you have to just figure it out on your own. I think it probably comes from like just growing up like in a different environment than where I'm at now, where it felt like survival all the time. It wasn't really always survival, but it felt like it was always survival. And so I was just like trying to figure it out. And it's so much harder when you try to figure it out on your own. But when you don't and you ask for help, because people want to help you. And a friend of mine told me something recently, and they were like, when you don't say yes to help, you're actually diluting someone's love for you, because that's their way of loving you.
Yeah.
And when you allow them, they feel like, wow, they're a part. And
Beautifully put. They want to be a part of your journey.
They want to be a part of the journey. They want to help you, because by helping you, they're also living in their purpose, because that's what they want to do. And I was like, oh, that's deep. That's good. Because you don't think about it that way. You just think about, I don't want to be a burden to other people. I don't want to like all of those things.
They probably have a lot of their own stuff going on. Sometimes it's a break from their stuff to help you with your stuff.
Yeah. My creative director now that I work with, the way that she became my creative director is I was sitting down outside of Little Lunch Coffee, my favorite place to be. And I was just like sharing about what I'm doing. And I always thought she had so much that she had to do all the time. And she goes, oh my gosh, Chelle, that's what I do, right? And I was like, really? And I promise you, me and her will like speak the same language.
Wow.
And it's like such a beautiful synergy of like just working together. It's so cool.
And it's all because you voiced it.
Because you voice it out.
Yeah.
Speak.
Use your voice. And sing.
And sing. And sing.
Yes, I know. I'm like, this will be our first Powerful Stuff singing episode.
Right? I love that.
Your voice sounds beautiful.
We should have a little episodes where we just...
like a little freestyle.
We just freestyle and sing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
It's powerful stuff.
It's powerful stuff.
Yes. I actually have it in my notes to write a song called Powerful Stuff.
Well, you do?
Yeah. So
you should write it.
We'll have to, and I'll get you, we'll collab.
Yeah. I thought it would be so much fun.
I'll get you on it.
I wrote the other day.
Powerful Stuff x Femme Prosper production.
No, I love that. I actually wrote the other day. I've really been connecting back with myself recently. I don't know if it's turning 30 or something, but I kind of like it. Dirty 30.
Coming home to yourself.
Coming home to myself. We finished the start and return. Now we're here.
Now we have arrived.
Yeah.
Until the next Saturn return.
Yeah, until the next one. But I like wrote to my friend at midnight, because I've been finding myself singing more. And I never talk about singing, because I'm like, oh no, I'm not like Beyonce or all those people. And one time at midnight, literally 3 days ago, I wrote to my friend. I was like, I love to sing. That's it. That's all.
You're like, just putting it out there.
Yeah, I'm just putting it out there in case you're curious. I love to sing.
Okay.
Yeah.
We want to hear your voice
You're
more.
so funny. We'll sing a different time.
Well, okay. Yes, we'll sing a different time. But I know exactly what you mean as a manifestor generator. I also sing and write songs. And sometimes I'll be like playing my song at an event or something, and people will be like, oh, are you a musician? And I'll be like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm a coach, but I play music for fun. And it's like, what's stopping me from just being like, yes. I am. And I have music on Spotify, but even if I didn't, it's like, I can own that. But
your 30
it was like,
song.
Yeah, my 30 song.
I love it.
Help me enter into 30. Now we're on a roll. But yeah, it's just like owning all parts of ourselves and not tempering it, or but I have other friends who do it full time. But it's just like, that's a part of me. Yes, I am a musician.
No more saying that.
Yes, I do sing.
Yes, I do sing.
Yeah.
I had someone who came up to me at this event that I was at recently, and they were like, oh my God, you remind me of this old singer from back in the day. Are you a singer? And I was like, no, I'm not a singer. I own a company called yada yada. And he's like, wow, you should be a singer. And then it's so funny, you talk about the wink. I promise you talk about the wink. We're going to come back to this episode one day and think about this. Then one day I was sitting outside of this cafe. This all happened in the same week. And I'm sitting outside, and someone was like, I don't know how, I don't know what. They were like, singer. I'm not kidding. They were walking on the street. They just looked at me and said singer. And I was like, this is so Venice.
Wow.
People just like yelling crazy things. And then
yelling the truth.
And then now I'm like just like singing all the time.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. I really enjoy it. It just makes me so happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel like sometimes I don't have hobbies, like things that I do for fun, because I'm always so structured all the time. And I like that, like the moments that I feel like I'm so happy with my hobby is when I'm alone in my car. Sometimes I take the longest route driving home just so I can sing a little bit longer in my car.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. What song are you singing right now?
Ooh, okay. There's a version of Hey Ya.
Oh,
and
nice.
it's like an acoustic version
by
this artist. I forget his name, but I literally sent it to my friend Sean because he plays the guitar, and I was like, lend this song on the guitar so I can sing it.
Wow. Okay. Well, challenge for you.
Yeah.
If we'll chat about this offline, but just putting it here into the universe, recorded on Powerful Stuff.
Okay.
But the third Thursday of October, I'm going to do a Powerful Stuff at Moss, one of my Powerful Stuff lives of music, comedy, and connection, where it's like me and then another poet or musician, but then I have like an open mic portion.
Oh my God, I love
So
that.
if you're free.
You're gonna have me in there being like, my baby don't work.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. So if you know it and your friend learns it on the guitar in time, I would love to have you sing it.
Yeah. You can sing.
Yeah.
He's like this big old NFL player, like playing a guitar. He's not gonna love that I just said this, but he is at the same time because he also wants to play guitar. So I'm like, yeah.
Well, you guys have a stage.
I love that. Thank you for presenting it over the offer.
And I love that it's at Moss, the same place that you're hosting your
female panel event.
Female panel. Yeah. Shout out to our friend Savannah who created such a beautiful space.
She literally created a space that allows many people to come together and create in many different ways, whether it's not so crazy that you see like artists in all different dimensions, from tech, because that's artists too, to founders of CPG brands, to clothing, to movement. And it's just like this hub that connects everyone together. I've met so many people from that place too. It's so funny.
I know. I love it. It's the roots keep deepening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like
so the third Thursday of October, watch this space.
You know what? I'm just going to say yes.
I'm like, here's the hand at the door.
Right?
Say yes.
At the door and me accepting it. Yes.
Why
my
not?
God.
Why not?
Why not? Exactly. Why not?
As Hillary Duff would say, do you know that song where she's like, why not? Why not?
No,
Take
I do
a
not.
Crazy chance. Okay, I'll send it to you.
That's a good song. I love that. Why not?
Yeah. Why not? And Hey Ya.
Why not and Hey Ya? I like that.
Back to back duo. Okay.
That is pretty good.
Wow, powerful tangent.
Yeah.
Or the main road. But yeah, with all of that to say, then through all of this evolution, how did Femme Prosper come to be? What was your first little inkling of that? Like, obviously now it's launched, now you're hosting events, now you have your beautiful clothing line.
Yeah.
But what was that first little like, ooh, like that could be cool?
Yeah.
And like, what were the little steps that you took since then?
Femme Prosper being born, and when you start a company, which is like a lesson that I cannot wait to share one day with people, just like you have like big ideas, big delusional ideas, which you should have. Mm-hmm. And I had this idea of a holistic all-in-one platform. I was going to open a studio, and I was going to it was only going to be for females because I wanted women to come and have a safe space to connect, to heal, to move, to love, and to do all of the things. Like it was going to be this beautiful space. And then I realized I don't like to be tied down to just one location. I'm very vast. And sometimes I think I can fear the fact that I'm multidimensional. Like I can hold myself back from that. Kind of like what you said about being like, oh, no, I'm a coach. No, I'm a coach and a singer.
Yeah.
I'm a coach and a singer and
yes,
many other things as well. Yes, and exactly. Not yes, but. Yes, and not yes, but. And I was like, okay, I loved my background in everything that I've done that has helped me get here. It's like I've been a model before. I've done the influencing stuff for fun, and I've loved fashion, and I've loved all of those things. And so it's like Femme Prosper is like many different layers of who I am. So with the activewear, it's like I've modeled, and literally sometimes they tie down clothes in the back of me because they don't fit me well, because maybe like the small doesn't fit the right small, or it's just not made for my body type. And I was like, necessity is the mother of innovation. I don't see what I want on the market. I want to create it. I want to create the bodysuit that makes women. The feedback that I got from this woman this morning literally made me cry. And I think I'm just emotional right now. I don't know why, because everything you say, I'll probably just start crying.
We love that. Emotions are our superpowers.
It's so powerful. And I was like, I want women. I love when I wear something that makes me feel confident in my body, and I don't feel like I don't have to compromise anything. And so just like, if I could summarize like what came about with the fashion brand, it's the feedback this woman gave me, which said, you have no idea how much of a confidence boost that I needed this time around, and wearing this bodysuit, which is literally this one that I'm wearing right now. So it's kind of cool.
Yes.
She's like, it has helped me just like remember that I'm beautiful simply as I am in all of the ways. And there's just certain things that you put on, it makes you feel really good. I like to feel good. I want women to feel good. And then so that's part of like the layer of Femme Prosper. But then I also feel like we have so many of that in Venice. So we're so lucky. But there are lack of community that's available for women or just people in general, really.
Yeah.
There's not enough of that. Where I'm from, if I say the word breathwork, they'll be like, I breathe every day, because that's what I said. Yeah. When I first did my breathwork session.
Like, why do I need breathwork?
Yeah, my friend like invited me to breathwork, and he was like, sister, come to breathwork. And I was like, I breathe every day. I don't know what that is. And I went, oh my God, I literally was like having a seizure. And I was
Isn't
like,
it so great that first time? You never forget your first
you
time.
don't forget your first time.
Yeah.
You don't forget your first time. I had a full circle moment because like recently going on a tangent, I like messaged him. I was like, brother, it's so funny because the first birthday class I won was like 2 years ago in your class. And now I'm reaching out because you're going to try to educate me on how to be the best facilitator to others. So I want to travel the world. I want to go to Africa and bring mindfulness, meditation, and movement to kids like me who didn't have that growing up. And so Femme Prosper, I feel like many different layers of the activewear and the mindfulness practices that we have with breath work and the community building things that we do as a all-in-one solution came from not only my story and saying like, what did I need when I was growing up that I didn't have?
Yeah.
And other kids where I'm from don't have that. And how can I start here? Because you always start in your community. That's where you start. If you want to start something, serve the people around you. And I was like, okay, I want to put this whole little package together. You should read my pitch decks that I used to have for investors. You'd be like, is this girl crazy?
Oh,
like,
I would love to read those
what
pitch
are you,
decks.
Like, what are you writing?
Yeah.
And I would go in the meetings. They're like, wow, do you want to have kids? Which is always like, which is another thing we're going to touch base on before we talk about female founders and the questions you get asked about. Wow, big dream. So like, do you want to be a mother? It's like, that's the first thing you thought about?
Right.
To ask me?
It's so crazy.
Wow. Did you
The
ask Jerry
misogyny
that?
is
Or did you
real.
ask Chelle that?
Yeah.
You know,
Did you
like,
ask Jerry?
yeah. Does Jerry want to be a father? Or does Jerry want to be able to handle it all? But then I was like, okay, I'm going to put this whole thing together into one platform that's really going to represent the brand. And I'm going to ask and I'm going to hear from people around me what they want, what they're missing, what they're lacking, and how can we bring that more too. And I get asked, the first event that I did, people would ask me like, who's the founder of Femme Prosper Wellness? And I'd truly say, it's all of the women around me. They built this brand. If it wasn't for their feedback, if it wasn't for the kids that I watched growing around, if it wasn't for all of the stories, if it wasn't for my mom and for all the mothers around, it wouldn't be here. But I felt like I'm on my own Oprah journey in my own different way. And Femme Prosper Wellness is going to be that service to people. Yeah. And I want to be like Femme Prosper across the globe.
Yes, I love it. I see the vision.
You see the vision?
Here for it.
You see the big vision?
I see the big vision.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And I love so many of the things you say of like, serve the people in front of you first.
Yeah.
And that's what I always tell my coaching clients as well, who have like big dreams, but then they almost get in paralysis of like, where do I even start? And it's like, well, you can host something for 2 of your friends tomorrow night in your house. Like make the big vision and then like reverse engineer it of like, what's something I can do today?
Yeah.
Check. And then what's something you can do tomorrow?
Yeah.
Check. Because I think people can get like paralyzed after the visioning part. Firstly, like clearing out all the self-limiting beliefs and knowing that that's possible. But then where do they go from there? It's like just starting with who's in front of you.
Yeah. I used to, when I started doing my events, I'm sure you've probably maybe experienced this in the beginning where you're like, oh, I have my first event coming up. What if one person signs up and you're like thinking that in your head? And I've learned this. It's like, if one person shows up, that's the one person you're supposed to serve today. And that's so like now I don't care about the numbers, about the who showed up, all of these things
whether
that
it's
you
5
think about
or
in
20
business.
or
No, you serve who you're supposed to serve, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about when you come back to that. But honestly, it's such a struggle to, like what you were mentioning about, it's a big dream, it's a big picture, and you see it so vividly, and you know you're going up there. You gotta like stop looking at the mountain. It's a ladder, climb it. So like there's steps to it. You take the first step, whether it's like you build the LLC, great. You build the Instagram page, great.
Yeah.
You write your first like little statement, your mission statement, great. Like it's just little steps towards the big picture that I feel like you finally say, look at all these little tiny things that I did. Because one of the things that I used to struggle with, and I still struggle with this, is like, I want to do it all today. And I want Femme Prosper to be running today. And I want to do it all today. It's like, no, you're not. Because when you do that, that's when we get stuck in that paralysis.
Yeah, we get stuck in the paralysis. We feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
We feel like, exactly. And I just think back to my alcoholic kombucha company that I used to have.
Yeah.
And just like, it's almost like you have to go in with like blind optimism.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how to run an alcohol company. I didn't know anything about like alcohol laws. And at the time, like, and it's almost like I'm glad I didn't know that because I probably would have never started if I did.
Yeah.
But it's just like I started brewing kombucha in a jug in my house thinking I could sell it at the farmer's market. And then I realized like, oh, I actually like need to hire a brewmaster who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then I need to get like, and so like that was like then the next step, and then getting the samples back, and then doing the packaging, and then looking into like the alcohol laws, and then raising the money. And
oh my gosh.
but it was just like the first version of me. It was like, I'll just buy a SCOBY and I'll put it in a glass jar and I'll ferment it. And then like I'll sell it at the farmer's market next week, get good feedback, and just scale from there.
Yeah. Don't you love the stories?
Yeah. And I'm just like, bless that little Meredith's heart, you know, but I did it, and I kept going and kept going and kept going, like you said. And then you look back and you're like, whoa, like I actually learned so much, and I've come so far.
And you have to also pause. And I think someone literally reminded me of this yesterday, but I finally learned about it today because I was like finally catching up on all my messages. It's like you also have to stop across that journey to really be like, I did it. Like celebrate the little wins. Because like when you're always like chasing the big thing, you're just going. And it's like, stop and celebrate building that LLC. Stop and celebrate like sending that one email to your first person being like, hey, I started this thing and I'd love for you to try it out. Like if you don't celebrate those moments, it just feels so mundane and it feels so hard. And it feels like it's taking a long time. But if you actually say like, I did this, and that's just that. Like I wrote 2 words today. Yeah. Towards that where I'm going. And I want to celebrate that because I struggle with that. I struggle with celebrating all of the little moments.
And that comes with like the slowing down and the being still.
Man, I need to learn
because then
more.
It's like, well, I mean, it's so funny because it's like we both teach it, we both do it, but it's also like we all need to be reminded of it every day. It's a constant practice, like brushing our teeth. It's not like, oh, we learned how to brush or I told this on the Angel podcast as well. So some of you listeners are getting to hear it twice, but it's not like you brush your teeth or you go for the teeth cleaning and then you're like, great, I never have to brush my teeth again. It's like every day. And I love celebrating small wins. Like I tell like my clients to do it. I do it with myself every day. Like what are like the 3 things that I did well today? And just like celebrating and slowing down the conversation, because it's kind of like gratitude is the bedrock of manifestation, and it kind of comes full circle to what you were saying about doing the 3 gratitudes before you get out of bed in the morning.
And then you get reminded of those at the end of the day. So like let's just say today sucked, because some days actually suck, and that's okay, because like some days have to be just sucky, and that's fine. And you can just, I always go back and remember like, or remember those things. I was grateful for my breath. I was grateful for my body. I was grateful that I woke up healthy today. At least I had that. So it's like I already won. I won the morning, win the day. That's what I say. So I already won the morning. So like everything could go wrong, but at least I have those 3 things.
Totally.
That went great and that I'm grateful for today.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I was going to say with that, so when you were like using all of this to build Femme Prosper, like what were the first steps? What was the first thing that you did like outside of, or when it was starting to become an idea after, you know, kind of like sitting on it? The first event, the first like sketch of the clothing. And what did that look like? Where were you? What were maybe some of the highs and lows that you hit during those early days?
I like how you ask your questions in 10
like, questions.
Yeah. You're like, you got this. You can answer all of them together.
I know. I always do that. And after every podcast that I have a guest on, I'm like, Meredith, just ask one question. But I'm like, you know what? They can choose which one they like.
Right. Just answer one of those.
Answer one of those. Yeah.
I love it. I would say when I realized like, everything that I've been working at 3 a.m. in the morning by myself in those quiet mornings, it's dark outside, I'm drinking my tea. I just like, it's so funny I got told this. I speak very animated because I picture things and I see them. And I was sitting there and it was like just through this 1.5 years of a lot of writing, a lot of what am I supposed to do and all of those things. I remember, and Emily, one of my friends, would tell you this, we were doing this challenge because we're crazy. We were going to the gym at 4 a.m. in the morning. And so we're like running together to the gym. And one day I ran and I was like, Emily. And she goes, what? And I was like, I figured it out. And she goes, what? And I go, Femme Prosper. And then I like just like dominate this gym that I go to. I'm like going off about the dream and the big picture and all of those things. And that day I like went home and I was like, okay, we're going to figure out how do we build all these things and put it together and make it the big brand that it needs to be. And I'm going to, I had no idea how to do entrepreneurship. I came from a corporate field and a healthcare field where it's like everything is structured. I go and I do my job and I go home and I go to bed and I repeat. And now I have to learn how to build a company are you kidding? I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And I did not know what I'm doing. But shout out to ChatGPT, because I will ask her all the questions. I call her because she's my bestie.
Let's normalize ChatGPT being a woman. It's
Yeah,
like God
no,
is a woman.
I literally, I call her. She's fun.
Woman.
She talks to me all the time. I'm like, dissect this for me. And she's like, okay. So I was like, okay, what are the things that needs to be done? It's like, okay, let's build the LLC. Let's do all of these things. And I was like, okay, I am not a rich person. Like, I don't have like a lot of money, and building a business, this is the reality that I feel like it's not talked about enough, but it's very hard when you don't have a lot of money, because that stops you from taking the big leap. And so I was like, you gotta make the sacrifices. I work a 9 to 5 that pays for my rent, that pays for my life. The little money that I have that's left from that, I'm gonna use it to pay the $300 for the LLC, pay the whatever for the first sample sketch.
Yeah.
Pay the whatever. I'm just gonna be frugal, because you're gonna be soft, yes, sure, but like you also have to say, what do I start saying no to now, so I can say yes to my dreams? And so, like, I had to let go of a lot of things that were, like, not aligning with who I'm supposed to be. I call it the unbecoming to become.
But what were some of those things that you had to let go of?
Oh, like, we don't have to leave a, quote unquote, we don't have to go to Erewhon, 10
Every
times
day.
a day.
Yeah.
Like.
Just once a week.
Maybe just once a week. Maybe like 3 times.
Yeah.
Like,
for that cheeky buffalo cauliflower.
Right. It's like, and then I would go through these conversations where it's like, well, if we have this abundance mindset, like when I go to Erewhon now and I buy the $25 plate of food, how about we say, I'm grateful to be giving back to this charity that is Erewhon, and I help them with their business. And so I just got an abundance mindset back, instead of like, oh, no, they're about to make it $25, because that's a scarcity mindset.
Right. If I'm going to do it, like, let me fully own
Let me
this.
fully own it.
And let me, like, enjoy it versus guilting myself
Yes,
for it.
because I do that. I used to do that all the time.
Same, where I would be like, I can't believe I just spent $60 at Erewhon. It's like, okay, well, I did it. So let me be like, it's going to nourish me.
Yeah.
And
my own blockage in my life makes me scarcity.
I'm supporting small businesses. I'm joking.
Erewhon.
Erewhon, we hope that you're doing good with that money. That's all we have to say.
We're so happy for you. We're supporting you. But no, I think like just letting go of a lot of, I call it the unbecoming to become myself. Like I'm also doing like the 75 days of becoming with my friends, because they're like, oh my God, I want to try it out. Like, what are the twos that you do? And I want to try the 75 days of becoming.
Is that a book?
75 days hard, but we call it 75 days of becoming, because I feel like it doesn't have to be hard. It can be soft. So it's like it's whatever you want it to be, and you commit to it for 75 days and you humor yourself.
Okay, so it's one thing that you commit to for 75 days.
It's a lot of things you commit to for 75 days. Okay. So if you say like, I want to work out 3 times a week, and then I want to every single day I'm gonna take one actionable step towards whether you're gonna build a business, or you wanna like start having more conversations. Maybe you wanna build a podcast. It's like I recorded a little 1-minute series with myself, whatever it is they want to do.
For 75 days.
For 75 days.
Okay, I'm gonna start.
Yeah. It's just 75 days.
Today's day one.
Day one. I like that. Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
It's so good. And then you just do it and you see what happens after 75 days. But you have to commit, because people do 75 hard all the time. How about 75 days of becoming? And it's like whatever you want to become. And I honestly feel like I want to
build. Like the MTV show Made. Have you heard of that show?
No.
Oh my God. You would love it.
Really?
Maybe. But it's like somebody's like, I want to be made into a professional skateboarder or whatever. And then this like team from MTV comes in and spends 30 days with this person, and they give them like a mentor and a coach. And,
oh, that's nice.
And like by the end, they're like doing the thing, and it's like just proof kind of like that anything could happen. That was like, I think even in 30 days, but in 75, well,
so much can happen.
Yeah, it's twice that amount of time.
Yeah,
so imagine
2 months and like a few days, like so much can happen.
Yeah,
from just committing to that. And so I feel like I went through so many ebbs and flows. But one thing that I always have to say about starting anything and like choosing to say like, I'm going to do this, it's letting go of layers of yourself that no longer belong to you anymore. Like you can't build a business if you still have the scarcity mindset. If you still have like shackles around you that you stop yourself from going into the room. I woke up into the room with audacity every day. I'm like, I belong here. I have no idea what they're going to talk about, but I'm just going to wear that armor. It's not like the fake it till you make it. It's just be it to become it. And so I'm just being it to become it. And before I used to be like, oh no, I don't belong here. Oh no, like I have an accent, like I speak differently. It's gonna take a second for them to understand or grasp something. Or I'm too loud, I'm too big, or I'm too this. I was like, no, we accept all of who we are in our vastness. And we're going to let all of those layers go because they don't belong to you. I think Stevie Harvey says this. I listen to a lot of different people who inspire me, and I always steal nudges from them. Yeah. But the person you are now is here because of all the things you've done before. So if you have to become the new person you want to become, you have to start doing different things, right? You have to start doing different things that align with that person. And so I was like, Chelle, what do we need to let go in order for us to get over these ebbs and flows of the journey? But it's very difficult building a business and like learning so many different things from the journey, whether it's asking for help, whether it's trying something as many times as you need to try it out to say, okay, it's not working, and then try the next thing, and also not giving up. Like you can't give up. Just because it's hard doesn't mean you give up. You maybe get still and you come back to it.
Yeah, don't give up, get still.
Yeah, ooh, that's good. That has to be on a shirt.
Yeah, don't
give up, get still.
Don't give up, get still. You guys heard it here first.
But that's pretty good. I like it.
Whoa. Look at us getting still.
Look at us getting still. It's so good. I love that. Yeah.
And it's very, very, very true. And I love the idea of the kind of like the shedding of
shedding.
Yeah, coming back to our true nature. And I feel like what you were talking about with turning 30 and our Saturn return, I feel like this monk once told me, and I've told this story before, but I was at a monastery in Big Sur where you can like live with monks for a few days. And this monk told me, he's like, yeah, your 20s are like a candy store. You're trying out so many things. You're like refining your taste palette.
I love that.
In your 30s, it's like, what food did I actually like that I tried? What do I want to keep nourishing myself with? And it's like really about like, you know, nurturing and nourishing that like, you know, few things that you've decided you liked.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
I think you just summed that up with a word that I say, which is always lead each day and each life with curiosity.
Yeah.
I have done so many different things. I was in real estate for funsies, just for funsies. I was like, I'm just going to try it out. But I feel like those skills I learned in real estate were fun.
You were probably incredible.
Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it, but I didn't want to call people to like convince them to like help sell their home or like whatever it is. I was just like, okay, this is nice. I'm helping in a different way.
Yeah.
But that's not really my full thing. But you have to be curious and you have to be afraid to not be seen. I think that's the thing. If I want to be remembered by anything in this world, one is that like I helped people get closer to themselves in the way that I showed up in the world. And then two is that I was always curious. Like I was never afraid. Like I've done pageantry. Like I never thought I'd go on a Miss USA platform. And I did it. I was like, why not? But you have to like not be afraid to be seen and lead with curiosity. So my 20s was just like, I want to try this thing. I want to try this thing. I want to eat an apple, a peach, strawberry. And I want to see if I like the peach more than the strawberry. And I'm going to keep doing it. And I'm going to figure out, maybe I actually don't like any of those. I actually like, I don't know, grapes.
Yeah.
And now grapes are sticking.
Yeah. And giving the permission to enjoy the grape.
Yeah. Curiosity is so important because like I feel like if you're not curious enough, you get stuck in one thing for so long and that become your life. And I was like, I don't want to be the person who at the end of life is questioning, could I have done more?
Yeah.
And could I have done more if I was just a little bit more curious and not afraid? I think curiosity comes from being afraid. Like lack of curiosity comes from being afraid. Like if you're not afraid, you become more curious. And you're like, I'm curious what happens if I go to Kilimanjaro next month. It's like, you have no idea.
We have no idea.
Literally go find out.
Yeah. And that's how we discover new parts of ourselves.
Yeah.
Of just like how we react in different situations.
Yeah.
Which then gives us the new data points, which then helps shift our beliefs.
Yeah.
And it all comes back to just doing it.
You're just doing it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Not sponsored by Nike, but if Nike, you're listening and you want to partner
sponsor
with
us.
Femme Prosper.
Right? Thank you, Nike. We appreciate it.
We appreciate it in advance, giving gratitude in the future.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
But it's very true. And I think curiosity is like one of the most fundamental things we need as humans to grow. Being curious about like what happens when we try something new, being curious about other people and where they came from and their stories.
Yeah.
And oh gosh, I mean, I could go on about this and this is such another tangent that I won't. But I'm like, if we could just bring more curiosity into this election cycle in America.
Oh my God, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There'd be so much more understanding and empathy. And yeah.
There's so much to unpack there.
So much.
We won't go podcast next week.
Yeah. We won't go into it here. But we hope everyone is getting a lot of curiosity.
Honestly, like just challenging ourselves and challenging our beliefs and educating ourselves past beyond what we always think. Like it's always been this way and that's just how it should be. And I think that mentality right there is a killer. Just always thinking something needs to be, this is how I've always done it. That's a problem too.
Yeah, as soon as you think that, that's like where growth ends.
Yeah, that's literally where growth ends.
It's just 2 a.m.
Comfort zones are comfortable, but that's where growth dies.
Yeah,
so that you
that's
just
where
stay
growth
there.
goes to die. It's the growth graveyard.
It literally just dig while you're at
Whoa,
it. Dig.
comfort zone is the growth graveyard.
That's pretty good.
That's another one.
We have so many good ones.
I'm like,
so
should
many
we make
liners.
a bumper sticker?
We should make a bumper sticker business. Okay, we should talk about it.
Great. It'll be a Femme Prosper
invitation accepted.
Yeah, under the umbrella organization.
Oh my God, we have so much to do.
Okay, wait. So as we're kind of like wrapping up, I want to hear like the rest of the Femme Prosper journey, where it's at now. What is the grand vision? And then we'll take it away to some meditation and action steps for our listeners.
Oh, I love that. The Femme Prosper business. I love that. So we just launched literally on my birthday. I'm such a, what is it called? I forget the word that my friends call me, but I mix everything so deep. So on my birthday, and I was birthed by my mother, I birthed my baby, which is Femme Prosper. So that's why I wanted to like the launch to align with my birthday. Yeah. So it's always like every birthday, it's always a remembrance of
your birthing
this beautiful birth of allowing myself to say that this is not about me building this business and building this brand. It's literally not about me. And that's another thing that I meant to mention earlier. If there is anyone out there who's afraid to start, and they know that they have a skill, they have a talent, they have a gift, they have something that they're supposed to give to the world, just know that that dream and that vision is not placed in your heart because it's just placed in your heart. It's because that's your purpose. That's literally what you're here supposed to do. So when you don't allow yourself to live in that purpose, you are literally betraying your calling to life. And so it's not about
all
you.
the people that you could help.
Yeah, it's not about you. It's about the people you're supposed to service. So like, get over yourself. Get to work.
Get to work. And
today.
You're actually going to feel better doing it.
You're going to feel better doing it. And it's like, wow, like I am doing this. I think that's the thing, the ego death, like letting that die, that was big for me. It's like, I'm not doing this for me. Like, yes, I am the brand, but I want to help people. And this is how I can uniquely do this. I'm not going to be a physician and go cure, heart surgeries, but I can build a brand that supports women and allow women to feel good in their beingness and know that they can dream big if they choose to allow themselves to do so. And so, Femme Prosper launched last week on Friday. It was an incredible, crazy day. Yeah. And the big picture for us right now is we just launched our e-commerce website, and we have so many upcoming community building events, so many wellness events, partnering up with different brands. And I just want to see more women coming in. I want to see women from different places coming to connect. Threads has been a huge thing for me too. Like, just you find out so much if you don't use Threads.
I don't use Threads.
I didn't use Threads. And one day, I don't know what happened. I woke up and I was like, I should message this. I wrote on Threads, if you're a woman in LA looking for like-minded women to connect, who loves wellness, yada, 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 tap in. I received 377 messages in one day.
I need to get on Threads.
I promise you, get on it.
I need powerful stuff needs to be on Threads.
It needs to be on Threads. And I'm literally doing a hike this weekend where 67 women signed up within one day, and I'm just meeting up with them to go on a hike because that's what it's all about. Yeah. People, we're craving community, and we're craving authentic relationships. We're craving connection. And just because we have it doesn't mean everyone else gets to experience that. Yeah. So people like us who are fortunate enough to have those experiences, how can we create more of that for other people to come and connect? I love when I hear I met a friend at a Femme Prosper event, now she's my best friend. That to me makes me so happy.
Yeah, it's art. The spillover effect is happening. Can you share with our listeners like what the arc of a Femme Prosper event usually is?
Yeah,
and then also kind of like what the overall like theme of the clothing.
Yeah, is. I love that. Our events, the way that I like to do them is everything has like a theme around it. The last two ones we did was like all about I'm becoming to become. So then I have this whole entire experience. Like I either partner up with a place like Moss, or I partner up with places like Our Time Borrow, which is this incredible place, which I think Powerful Stuff would be great at that place.
Yes,
and
I've seen it. It's right next to the Kava bar.
Yes, it is next to the Kava bar. And I want everything. I want you to come into the room with whatever you came with. And I want you to come feeling empowered. It's always about you leaving feeling empowered. And so we have like a little journaling session that we do in the beginning of the start. We go through like a meditation practice. We go through a movement practice. They're all different. And then there's always some type of art or creation that's involved into it. Last time we built pottery, which is very cool. So you got to build your own with whatever a candle incense. They got to do that with like pottery and playing with it. And it's also bringing out that play that I feel like because we're building stuff all the time, we don't get to play. Like I struggle with play. Like I used to get invited to like painting stuff and I'll be like, I don't really do that. I don't paint. I sit on the computer and I do stuff. And it's like, I want women to know that we can both be empowered, but allow ourselves to play in the mixture of that. And Femme Prosper kind of encompasses all of that. So whenever we do events, it's like deep intentional work. Like I always call it digging the grave, like dig the hole and uncover yourself and be okay with seeing all of the behaviors and all the things that you did that led you here where you are. Being okay, look at it with a place of compassion and grace. And with what you know now, how do you choose to now show up into the world? It's funny because I led a meditation on Monday about a tree, and it's a new season, it's new change. And so if you're a tree, what kind of tree are you going to choose to be in this new season that you're entering now?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, so that's that. That's how most of our events that we do with Femme Prosper are about. And then with the activewear brand, I want to create, there's so much fast fashion around like activewear, clothing, all of the things. And I wanted to create a brand that was eco-friendly as you can get. Like you can never like hit the full perfection. I mean, hopefully with more revenue in the future, we can be fully eco-conscious. But I wanted to create a brand that was available for everybody, for every woman, and they were fully seen and represented in our brand. And I hope when people look at it, they see themselves in our models, in our clothing, in, you know, there are certain girls who love to wear the little crop top that's me.
Yes,
that's just
I
like
love a good
whatever.
crop top.
And then there are girls who love to be more modest and more covered. Not that like wearing a crop top is not modest, but like, you know, it's just, there's different looks. And I want you to wear activewear that makes you feel good in your beingness. And that's what I live in. I live in activewear all the time.
I mean, and it looks
dress
great.
it up, dress it down.
You have a blazer on with it
I
right
have
now.
a blazer on with it right now.
That's like the Venice dream. Just
it is.
Like wearing activewear and making it fashion.
Yeah.
Making it, or like, you know, taking it for the editorial or daytime work spin.
Yeah. And I always used to think like doing a business in fashion, I used to think that it was self-serving because I was like, well, you just like fashion. How is that like helping people? But then I launched it. And I realized, no, people love to feel good in what they're wearing and what products that are the right fitting. Like you don't have to like tailor it and do all of these things. There's different size, like length for different people, short people, tall people, normal size people, whatever it is, whatever they call it. I wanted to create a brand that really represented all of that into one. And it's also something that I love. Like it makes me happy to create clothes and play dress up and just be a girl. And I was like, you can build your gifts into your dream job.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And so you did. And it's so soft. It's so flattering.
Yeah.
And also it's so cool that like you have like the community as well as this like physical manifestation of it. And it's like the people in the community are doing the things in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it would be wearing like the things that like the clothing brand stands for. And it's such a beautiful kind of like symbiosis between the two.
Yeah. And my tagline is, what if your clothing that you wear could feel as good as your wellness journey? So what if you're wearing this like set today, it's like literally supporting your wellness journey. So like in your wellness journey, you're like trying to take your vitamins, take your supplements, do the meditation, do the workout. But then what if you could also wear clothes that make you feel really good in yourself by also supporting an eco-conscious brand that like is being kind to the earth, it's being kind to the planet, because we are literally one and the same. Like the moment you separate yourself from the earth is the moment you become disconnected to everything, because we're the same. So supporting brands, not just Femme Prosper Wellness, I'm not just like tagging myself here, but supporting brands that are not doing the mass production and too much plastic and all these different things that's happening within the fast fashion world, which is kind of sad, like climate change.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, are we going to Mars? Like, where are we going? Where are we going to move to? Because I think we need to run.
We need to run. Yeah. And it's like in full alignment from the inside out, kind of like earlier when you were talking about with your word.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the choices that we make, the clothes that we buy, how we vote with our dollar.
Yeah.
And then like being a physical embodiment of that, literally with our clothing, but then also with like who we're hanging out with, like in the community that we're building. Yeah.
That's really huge.
Which I love.
That's hard.
It is hard for
you have to let go stuff.
Yeah, that's true. It's constant shedding.
It's constant shedding. It's uncomfortable too.
Yeah.
Like you have to be okay with being uncomfortable. Like when you're being called to do something, and I literally was like battling with this. You start to feel, if you really connect more and it's just a continuous learning. I'm still learning it. Certain things I used to enjoy anymore, you don't enjoy them anymore. Certain environments that used to make sense to you anymore, they don't make sense to you anymore. And what I always say is allow yourself to be challenged to leave the place that you feel like a chameleon and go to the place where you feel like unfiltered you, because that's the next step where you're going.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to go to the next step. Just, it's okay for you to feel, sometimes it's lonely too. It's okay to feel lonely in this little part, because I promise you, like what I said before, the cave you fear hides the treasure you seek.
The cave you fear hides the treasure you
Go
seek.
to that cave, baby.
I know. And it's like reminding yourself you're not alone. And
you're not alone.
we all feel that fear. Like we've all felt it before, and that you have so many people, if you reach out for help, that are like willing to like hold the mirror, hold your hand while you take that step into the unknown.
Yeah. And I have to say, it's really cool what you're doing with Best Morning Ever and like the Powerful Stuff podcast, because I think you're bringing people like me also to like just share conversations that like maybe one person's going to watch this today and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I feel inspired, or like I can do the thing. But it's places and people like you who are so courageous and daring greatly to be like, I'm going to create powerful stuff. And this is my mission and this is why, because then it's allowing other people to know that they too can do that. Yeah. And that's the people that I want to be around all the time.
Yeah.
They make me feel like I too can do it.
Yes.
You know? And we just want everyone else to feel the same.
I know, where we're just like, well, like you said, we're so blessed to like live in a place where it is the norm to kind of push ourselves and to be around community while doing it.
Yeah.
And it's easy to forget that not everybody outside of like Venice or West LA feels this way all the time. And even people within it, and even we forget it, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, imagine as we continue to need to remind ourselves like how other people feel who just have like no access to it, who aren't exposed to it at all. And
the big win is when we take Powerful Stuff to Zimbabwe.
Yes.
And you get to speak to all these kids. Oh
I
my God, I
would be
literally
so
got chills.
honored.
Like that will literally, I keep getting chills. It's funny. It's like a little body wash.
It's happening.
Yeah, it's like that is going to change. You have no idea. Like we have no idea. I have like every day I'm like, when I'm like complaining about like a little thing, I'm like, I know where I came from and the struggles that Powerful Stuff needs to be there so that other kids can know that they don't have to be married off at a young age because women, that's why I'm all about women. Women don't have to be married off at a young age because they can get an education. No, they can get an education, and Powerful Stuff can remind them of that.
Yes.
So we have to take
That's
it
our
there.
honor. That would be my deepest joy to do that. Zimbabwe 2025. And
yes.
like I told you before, or when we first met for our Minotti's coffee, it's like being an international journalist, living and working in different parts of Africa and South America, hearing other people's stories and getting to kind of have that cross-cultural exchange and sharing was such a deep part of my 20s.
Yeah.
And then I love living in Venice, and it's been such a beautiful part of my self-development journey, both for myself and as a coach and also as a community builder. And then I think like the next step for Powerful Stuff is like really merging the two and going international, like similar to you, of like getting to share this beyond our borders and to learn from those communities too and what they're already doing.
Yeah. That's going to be incredible.
I can't wait.
I can't wait too.
Femme Prosper X Powerful Stuff Zimbabwe 2025.
It's happening.
We're going. It's happening.
It's done. You heard it here first. We can't wait to share it later.
Yeah, we can't wait to share which airline is sponsoring us.
Right? JetBlue, thanks. They love wellness.
Exactly. JetBlue loves wellness, or a Virgin Atlantic.
Yeah,
I feel
that
like
too.
Someone.
Yeah.
Whoever's lucky enough to do it.
Yeah, whoever's lucky enough to have us in their plane to take us there.
Okay, so if we were going to break it down to like 3 steps, 3 to 4 steps for the listener, what are those 3 to 4 steps for them to like think about or to journal on? And then we'll go into a little meditation to round it out.
Okay, I love this. It's amazing. 3 steps that I think the listener would want to kind of tackle down in order for them to get to the next thing of their own life well lived, whatever that means for them. It's 1, identify what's, like literally sit down and identify what are the things that I feel like have been stopping me from living my life well lived. Like just be real with yourself, with grace and with love. You can literally say, I procrastinate a lot. Because I did. I'm just speaking my own experience.
We all
literally.
do. Oh my
and
gosh.
write all of those things down. But what I like challenging you to do it with grace, with love and compassion to yourself.
Yeah, not beating
judging,
yourself
being
up.
like, oh, like you're bad. You don't do this. No, like actually write it down, because like honesty and like getting past that denial stage. That's the first layer. I call it an unbecoming to become, right? So it's like, write that down. Sit down with yourself in your quiet room, whatever your favorite place is for you, in your car, in whatever, wherever it's at, and write those steps down. What do I feel like are the things that are stopping me from living my life well lived? Fantastic. Great. When do I feel like I learned those things? When did it start? For me, it was when I was 8 years old. I like in Zimbabwe, and I don't know, I like gained this feeling of inadequacy and not feeling like I was enough. And so I would dilute myself. I'm not raising a hand in class and all these things, many contributions that play into that role. That's a different topic. But it's like, okay, when did that start? Okay, good. That's okay. Like,
Yeah. We love and forgive ourselves.
we love and forgive ourselves. And like some of it, it's like it happened for you, not to you. And that's okay. Let's let go of that.
Yeah, it's part of your journey.
It's part of your journey.
Your perseverance, your
Right.
grit, your character.
Yep. You wrote that down. So right when it started, it's like, okay, now. And number 3, it's with what you know now, what can you do starting today to get closer to that dream day with what you know now? Maybe it's like, okay, I want to have that conversation with that one friend of mine that I feel like does not honor my boundaries. Because it's not all about like, building whatever businesses. It's about really coming back to
your
yourself,
life in alignment.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I want to have that conversation. I want to ask for my needs. I want to tell that guy that like I deserve a dinner date, not just going on a walk.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I learned maybe I started doing it when I was younger. I didn't ask my parents for whatever it was that I needed. But with what I know now, I'm going to go ask for it today, not right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go do it. And it's like, okay, cool. With what you know now, what are you going to do about it? And it's like, fantastic. Now that you know this, write the 5 things you're going to commit to this week. Just this week. 5 things. Because sometimes I write 20.
Yeah, same.
And then my to-do list is like 40 things
Woman after my own heart.
Oh my God, it's so bad. It's like, write 5 things and you're going to write them down. Write those things down. See the layer that stops you. See when it started. With what you know now, what are you going to do about it? And write those 5 things down. Do it. And I do this. That's the practice that I did with myself. Yeah. And I was like, it's okay. It is uncomfortable. You cry. You get sad. You're like, oh, that's when I learned this thing. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then you like hug yourself and you're like, I'm sorry that
I love you.
Someone told me that you couldn't do this thing anymore or whatever. And it's like, okay, now you know so much. And now then you witness 5 things you're doing every single week that are new. And then here you are. I don't know what that life, maybe you're going to be an artist. Maybe you're going to go skateboard. Maybe you're going to go on that date that you feel like you're afraid to receive love or whatever it is. Just write the things down. Writing things down really helped me out with those steps. So just 4 little steps.
Yeah.
Big ones though.
4 little bit big.
Yeah, they're big. They're uncomfortable.
Powerful.
But powerful stuff.
Yeah, right there.
It's literally powerful stuff.
I love that so much because, it's like maybe somebody doesn't necessarily want to found a business tomorrow or whatever, but it's just bringing their life into alignment. First, kind of doing an audit.
Yeah, an audit.
Getting clear on what things aren't working, clearing that out of the way. Where did that happen? Loving and forgiving ourselves.
Yeah.
And then what is the thing to do, or what's the one thing I can do today, and what's the 5 things I can do this week, which then really builds the self-trust, like you were saying.
Exactly, because then it's muscle.
And it builds the muscle. We're brushing the teeth. The teeth are looking good.
Per white.
Yeah, no cavities here.
Thank you, please.
Yes. Okay, I adore that. I was like, I need to stop saying I love that.
I love that.
But also, I love that I love that, embracing it, accepting it. It's who I am.
Yes, acceptance and embracing it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe my second generation podcast would be called I Love That.
Wait, I love that. Wait.
Wait. No, it'll be called Wait, I Love That.
Wait, I love that. I like that. That's so good. So now I don't know what words to use.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that'll be the next gen. Okay, how do you feel about leading us through a little 2 or 3 minute Chelle Femme Prosper Medi?
I would love.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. See, I just knew it was just going to happen. It was just going to naturally flow into it. Okay. Beautiful. I always like to start each meditation with taking a deep cleansing breath, belly breath in through our mouth, feeling the diaphragm, feeling the chest all the way to the top of our head, holding all of the layers of today, of yesterday, of even tomorrow, letting all that go, deep sighs out. Holding here with your natural breath in this moment, in a perfect moment where it's a new season of change. We just finished summer. It is now fall. And with fall comes new season. That means new leaves are growing and new you is becoming. And so as we go through this meditation practice, I would like to challenge us all with everything that we've learned today, with the themes that we've applied today. What will you choose to do starting today that allows you to become the tree of your dream life? Taking deep breath in through your nose. Deep breath out through your nose. As you continue with that sequence, while I'm guiding you through this practice, I want you to think about the season you've been. 2024 has been an incredible year. It's came with its ebbs and flows, its challenges. Breathing in, I want you to welcome newness. Breathing out, I want you to let go of resistance. Breathing in, I want you to welcome resilience. Breathing out, I want you to let go of fear. You have survived every single hard day that you've gone through this year. You have chosen to do some really powerful stuff every single day. And the way that we know this is because you are here today. So taking a deep breath in through your nose. Deep breath out through your mouth. You are here in this moment, choosing to become who you're meant to be in this new season of life. If you're someone with who likes visuals, I would like you, as you continue to take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your nose. I want you to picture a tree that began growing January 1st, 2024. The leaves were falling, new leaves came to be, rain came, sunshine arrived, and with each day, with each hour, with each second, you still showed up. You are now in this new season. Will you allow yourself in this season to say, I am going to choose to give myself permission? Allowing your breath with one hand on your chest at your heart center, one hand on your belly. Deep breath in through your nose. Holding here at the top. Being here in this moment with yourself, in stillness. Can you honor the person you've been for the entirety of this year up until now? Can you give them a hug in this moment? Can you give them a gentle I love you in this moment? Can we offer them gentleness and forgiveness for maybe the way that you felt like you had resolutions in the beginning of this year, but maybe, just maybe, you didn't meet all of them? Can you offer that person, that place, that time, grace and love and forgiveness? And can you breathe in and welcome in love and compassion as you enter into this new season for the person you're now going to become, starting in this moment today? Can you offer them words of kindness, of support? Can you offer them trust? Taking a deep breath out. As we close out our meditation, I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose, breathing in love, repeating these words in your head. May I be happy. Taking a deep breath out. May I be safe. Deep breath in through your nose. May I live my life with ease. Deep breath out. And may I welcome love into my life. Holding yourself in this moment, offering yourself gratitude, thanking all the bones of who you've been, thanking all of the layers of who you've been, saying thank you to her or him, and welcoming the person you're meant to become. The light in me sees the light in you. Here's some powerful stuff. Namaste.
Namaste. Wow. Soft power.
Soft power. Yes, we want soft power.
That was so beautiful. I feel like it was just like my ears just getting the most like wonderful massage. I was like, I could listen to you all day. I felt so relaxed.
Yeah.
And so powerful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I always want you to feel empowered.
Oh, that was so great,
This
Chelle.
is so good.
Yes, this is so great. I hope everyone's feeling inspired and aligned to do their version of what their 3 a.m. morning is.
Yeah.
And to start their version of their answering their calling, like Femme Prosper, which you so beautifully gave us today. And I really feel the vision. And I think the beautiful thing about you and Femme Prosper is like it's just a breeding ground for everyone to step into their dreams and to do so in community, which is so amazing. So where can people find you? Where can people find Femme Prosper for those who want to know?
I love that. You can find us. Where can you find us? You can find us on our website. It's called Shop Femme Prosper. There you can find all of our events that we do, we have a lot of free meetup events. You can see our activewear line on there.
Yes.
You can see our community events, our retreats that we have coming up. You can see them on Shop Femme Prosper. You can also find me on social. It's Chelle Njiva. You probably won't be able to spell that, but I'm pretty sure Meredith will spell it for you
link
guys
it in
later.
the show notes.
Yeah. But yeah, you can find us there. And I really hope that we see more of you at all of the events that we do across Venice, across LA, and soon here across the world, starting in 2025.
2025 Zimbabwe, first stop.
Zimbabwe. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
We can't wait.
It's going to be so amazing.
It's going to be powerful.
Coming home.
Coming home. Oh my God, it's another continuation of coming home.
Yeah, we're just going to continue coming home.
Yeah, first 30 and then Zimbabwe.
It never stops.
Yeah, we're always coming home.
It's never done.
It's never done.
It's never done.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. Thank you so much, Chelle.
Thank you so much.
And thank you all for listening to this week's episode of Powerful Stuff. See you guys next week.